Welcome to a new episode on this channel, and it's been a while since I've uploaded my last and recent video. I know my words are getting slurred here because I'm trying to talk fast, but let's forget about that and let's get started with today's episode on who was John F. Kennedy. I'm pretty sure I made a video on this guy already on this channel, so this is probably going to be another updated version of it. So let's just get started on today's episode, shall we? Great. Now, one thing that is awesome about John F. Kennedy is that he has gone through a lot of multiple, let's say, tragedies and, how do I put this up, events. John F. Kennedy is like no other boy during his age. At least not like any other boy that we know nowadays, today, like 10-year-olds, I guess. I mean, I'm basically a 12-year-old, or I guess I'm an 11-year-old too, so I'm pretty confused at what age I am right now, because I don't know if I should go for the US standard or the other Asian standards, but I'm just gonna go for the US standard. I call myself 11. So John F. Kennedy was born to Roz and Joseph Kennedy in Brookline, Massachusetts in 1917 of May 29th. He was the second son and child of those two parents. Their first child was Joseph P. Kennedy Jr. His father was Joseph P. Kennedy. Makes sense for the junior part. And there's something else about it too. John F. Kennedy was in his brother's shadow a lot. After his birth, there were 7 more births of their sisters and brothers. And yeah, that's about it. That's how the family was, except that was not how the family was. The family was pretty crazy. I mean, if you watch Home Alone, then you'll know what crazy is. But this is not Home Alone, even Home Alone 2. I should make a channel about that. But let's digress about that and talk about that in another video, possibly. Not sure. Going on. When they were old enough, like, I don't know, 6 to 7 years old, the youngest was 6 to 7 years old, I think, then they were pretty much in a house. The Kennedys were rich because of their father's very, very great businessman style. And so they were rich. Back then, comic books cost 5 cents and Sundays costed 10 cents. Twice the price of a comic book. Nowadays, you have like $5 comic books, or the most rare and expensive ones, like millions of dollars. And Sundays are usually just like a few yuans and a few dollars if you care. And I'll talk about why in another video about that, about inflation. It's probably coming soon anyway, so yeah. John F. Kennedy is an awesome guy. He was in his brother's shadow a lot because his brother was the oldest. Joseph Kennedy wanted his oldest son, Joseph Kennedy Jr., to be in the politics. They were Irish immigrants. The children were born in America. His father was from Ireland, and he was an immigrant to the USA. And that's a lot to talk about. So a lot of people didn't really like the Kennedys back then. They felt like that these Catholics, because all Irish were Catholics back then, were going to be a danger to them a lot. So Joseph Kennedy wanted to prove to people that their religion and nationality didn't matter at all. It's something that shouldn't even be considered as that. John F. Kennedy was going to prove that. But before John F. Kennedy proved that, it was expected of Joseph P. Kennedy Jr. to prove that. So Joseph Kennedy, the father, wanted Joseph Kennedy Jr., the son, to go into politics after graduating Harvard, of course. And he was like, yeah, alright, but first I have to fight. He went to Harvard, and when John Kennedy was expected to go to Harvard, he went to Princeton and got bored, so he transferred to Harvard, which got a bit more exciting. his charms and other things got him into a club that Joseph P. Kennedy Jr. wasn't even invited to. Even Joseph P. Kennedy, the father who also went to Harvard, wasn't even invited into that club. Wow. Then, in 1944, Joseph P. Kennedy Jr. died of a secret wartime mission. With Joseph P. Kennedy Jr. out of the picture, his father needed a new successor for his political movements, and next in line was obviously John F. Kennedy, since he's the second oldest. There's a lot to talk about in this segment of John F. Kennedy's life. There's so much to do that there is nothing enough to do. There's not much to do at all. So John F. Kennedy tried to reject every political movement that his father forced him to do. Eventually, considering it, I'm like, yeah, sure. Eventually he got into the politics and he ran for the House of Representatives, got voted into it, and then he got voted into the Senate in 1952. He was voted into the House of Representatives in 1946. Then his father wanted him to be the president of the United States of America. I mean, he already proved himself worthy of a political leader. He already knew so much about the world and about, shebang. There's so much that could be done. Wait. That was not what happened? Okay, it turns out that really is not what happened. He wasn't really forced into the job. He really just did need the presidency, and he did want to get to do his father's wishes. So what did he do next? I'm not even sure myself, but not a lot of people are sure why he went to the presidency. Maybe just to go for the wishes of his father, or even just had the same ideology of his father. He became the first Catholic person ever. Before his presidential voting, he was asked what would his Catholicism hope would influence in the United States life, and he said, nothing. It would influence nothing. Yes, that would influence nothing at all, he said. And in his first inaugural address speech, and his only inaugural address speech, he said these famous words: "Ask not what America can do for you. Ask what America can do. Ask what you can do for America." I mean, it's been a while since I uploaded that speech I did, John F. Kennedy's first inaugural address. So, yeah, check that out if you haven't seen it yet. So he became the 35th President of the United States of America. So he became the President of the USA. He served well, and he had 2 children in the process. After marrying Jacqueline Kennedy, there's a separate video on her on this channel, I'm pretty sure. And there's so much to talk about him that we can't just all cram into the 10 minutes of this video. All I'm going to say is that he had John F. Kennedy Jr. as his son. And his daughter Caroline was born first, however. However, we'll see what John F. Kennedy Jr. did in John F. Kennedy's later life. After his term, he went on a presidential campaign to get some re-election. He was still president. He only served as president for 3 years. His 4th year was cut short for a reason. I'll tell you what it was later. John F. Kennedy has served a lot of life. He was in the U.S. Navy, and he did a lot of good things during president. Also, he made a lot of mistakes. He tried to learn from them. That is a true leader, and that is the good qualities of a leader. So, in 1963, President John F. Kennedy was shot at Dallas, Texas, and assassinated. No one really knows who assassinated John F. Kennedy. A guy named Oswald was arrested for the shooting. Bang, 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 bang. But then on live TV at a police station interview, he was shot by someone in the crowd. The book doesn't say who. So Oswald's dead, and the only primary suspect is dead. What has happened to John F. Kennedy and who killed him, we may never know. But on the day his coffin was sent to the cemetery, his son, now this is why John F. Kennedy Jr. is important, saluted him in a farewell. This photograph, actually it's a drawing I just drew from the photograph. The photograph that was taken became one of the most famous photographs in history. And if you have to talk about John F. Kennedy, you cannot leave out this photograph. And that is all I have to say. So I hope to see you guys in the next episode. And when I do see you guys in the next episode, I'll see you then with a new guy to talk about, or a new event to talk about, or at least something to talk about. So I hope to see you guys next time. Schnon out. Peace. Claude for president! Claude for president! Claude for president! Bang, bang, bang. Missed.